Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. Today we're looking at Tal Rasha, which is going to be the starting set for the Wizard in Season 23. This is going to be T16 two ways. We're going to do Frozen Orb and we're going to do Explosive Blast. Both are really fun. Explosive Blast I probably think is not as strong, but is arguably more fun. At least it is for me. But yeah, it's a flexible set. We can do whatever we want with it. Now, whether we want to play this all season long, it depends what Firebirds does. Obviously, Firebirds is looking super strong, so it probably will be Firebirds is how you play keys. Probably Firebirds how you do your solo GRs. But we will explore Tals because we've got leaderboard filters next season, and this is what we're going to get out of Hadrix. Before we do go through it all in detail, welcome to anybody who's new. Do consider subscribing, and as always, thumbs up brightens my day. Right, Tals. Okay, so we're doing this at like 10k main stat. So we've taken out the topaz out of the chest plate and pants. Obviously, you would put them in, but we're just trying to keep it at 10k. So we've got no main stat paragon in basically. Now, Tal Rasha 2-piece doesn't really matter. We basically get meteors that fall from the sky every 8 seconds. We don't really need to worry about them. They look pretty, which is obviously pretty good. Now the 4-piece, we do get 25% resistances, so Arcane Cold, Fire and Lightning attacks all increase our resistances for 8 seconds, so we do build up a decent amount of toughness through that. Now the 6-piece is where it gets interesting. This is always where the damage is. Attacks increase the damage by 2000 for 8 seconds, so when we do Arcane Cold, Fire and Lightning, they each add a stack, and we cap out at 4 stacks, lasting for 8 seconds. And we extend the duration each time. So basically once we get up to the 4 stacks, so we just need different elements. So we have Explosive Blast for fire, so that is 1 stack. We have Teleport, which is going to do the arcane, so that is another stack. We have the Electrocute, which is lightning, which is a 3rd stack. And we have Frozen Orb, which is a 4th stack. So we just have to press one of these to get this duration extension. And as we can see, as long as you're mashing buttons every so often, then your stacks will stay up. So that is pretty much how that works. Now we're also going to take some other sets. We've got the Crimsons, so you will have to do some bounties if you want to do this. The good news about these is they are now a guaranteed drop. You'll get them much quicker than in previous seasons out of your bounty caches, and you've got to do bounty caches anyway to get the set. So hopefully speaking, you'll find the plans. Same for all guilds. Now Crimsons will give us cooldown and resource cost reduction, both of which are great. So more damage, more resource cost reduction, and then obviously more damage mitigation on the 3-piece, which is nice. All guilds, we get basically damage reduction, damage, and we hit elites like a truck because of the 3-piece. So braces and shoulders, we've got no Tal shoulders, we've got no Tal's boots. So these are obviously ideal slots. There is a Tal Rasha belt, but obviously you're going to take the Crimsons there. I guess in theory you could take the Tal's belt and Crimson's pants if you wanted, or a Crimson's helm. So, you know, just whichever rolls the best. Or guilds, you're going to want the braces, and obviously you're going to want the shoulders as well, which is pretty good. Now, for the Frozen Orb variant, we're going to want to get ourselves an Unstable Scepter. Arcane Orb will have its damage increased up to 450% and trigger the explosion an extra time. We also have Triumvirate, so signature spells will basically increase Arcane's Orb damage up to 400% for 6 seconds. We can stack this 3 times, so that is 1 Triumvirate stack. You want to make sure you are getting to 3, and this is when your Arcane Orbs are doing the most damage. Now in the cube, we've got a Wizard Spike, so when we perform an attack, we've got a 25% chance to hurl a Frozen Orb, dealing 350% increased damage. There's not many daggers in the pool, so it's quite easy item to get, so this will probably go on your character. An Unstable Scepter is actually in the loot pool very early, so if you get super lucky, if you say this prayers to RNGs, you might get one of these in your cube early. We've gone for Gold Wrap for toughness, so whenever we pick up gold, we become immortal. We're going to take the Boon of the Hoarder. And I think also rings whilst we're here, Focus and Restraint, so we're going to get these modifiers. I've just stacked this absolutely full of damage. By all means, when you start adding paragon and things like that, you can switch these rings up to whatever it is that you want. So you don't have to take these 2, but obviously we've got the Electrocute when we hit with that, procs it, and also same for the Arcane Orb. And each of these are 50% damage. We've gone for Bane of the Powerful for again a bit more damage, and Trapped again just simply more damage. So it is pretty good. Now obviously on the season, I can't, this is non-season now, so unfortunately my follower, I mean, look how rubbish this looks. He's only got these little items. But on season, you will get the benefit of a Flavour of Time if you put one on your follower, which will give you double pylon duration. And you'll also get NEMs as well. Again, provided you stick them on the follower. You'll get double DBs from Sages, you'll get extra keys, you know, all that kind of good stuff. So this is basically as bad as it's going to be. So we'll jump in. I'll show you this one without the paragon in, then we'll come back and we'll talk about the explosive blast changes. But it has been fun going through. Actually, tell you what, let's just do the skills because we didn't go through all of them. So Arcane Orb, Frozen Orb, we've done that. Electrocute, Surge of Power. You can pretty much pick anything. You just need to damage with lightning, basically. So you know, if you don't like this one, you can swap it off, but this is the one I've gone for. Storm Armor, Power of the Storm. This is just to keep our arcane power up so we can chuck out more Arcane Orbs. Explosive Blast, Chain Reaction. This is just for the extra blasts. Again, it needs to be fire to proc that Tal stack. Magic Weapon, Force Weapon, more damage, always handy. And then Calamity, as we say, for the Arcane. Passives wise, Evocation for cooldown helps with the Crimsons, more damage. We've gone for Power Hungry and Audacity just because we're just shoving this full of damage. We don't care if we're up close and personal with Audacity. We don't care if we're far away with Power Hungry. It's just 30% additional damage either which way. And then Glass Cannon, we've got the Boon of the Horde, Gold Wrap, so we're immortal, so we may as well go for a bit more damage. But again, we don't need Cheat Death because the follower will be carrying that for us. So once you open your T16 Rift, you're going to hit Power of the Storm, you're going to hit Magic Weapon, Force Weapon, you're then going to pop in. Now you can numlock the Explosive Blast if you want, but you don't have to. You only need to press it like every so often. And as you can see, with no main stat, this completely melts. Now, one thing you might be able to do is we might be able to swap out the Wizard Spike and maybe take an in-gem, and then we could like do loads more teleports. But obviously Wizard Spike is easy to get, in-gem is quite hard, and yeah, I'd say it's easier to get an Unstable Scepter as well, as I say, given it's in the loot pool a little earlier. So this is just a template, you know, you can play along with this, but as you can see, Frozen Orb is very strong, and yeah, we can melt pretty effectively with this. So I'll tell you what, we'll get to the next floor, and then we'll go back and we'll put on the Explosive Blast one, and then you can kind of see the difference, I guess, between the two. That is, of course, if we can find it. Now, we just need to keep hitting a skill to keep these Tal stacks up. So, like, theoretically, we don't have to touch Explosive Blast anymore. You know, we can keep it up, provided we just left click, right click, then we keep these 4 Tal stacks up the whole way. And obviously, that would have been NEMs. They would have gone off on the follower. We also now would have the channeling for pretty much the entire way. And yeah, triumvirate stacks, again, fairly easy to keep up with 3. It's quite a nice synergy with the focus and restraint, because we're doing left click, then right click, then left click, then right click to keep the focus and restraint bonus up. That keeps up the Tal stacks. It keeps up the triumvirate stacks at 3. There we go. Me saying in-gem super hard to find, and of course the game mugs me off, makes a liar out of me, and gives us one. So right, so let's go back and we'll show you the spec with the Explosive Blast, and you can kind of see the difference. It's not as powerful, but it is a bit more fun, just because you know, I'm a fire fanboy, and I like it. So that's the Frozen Orb. This is Explosive Blast. What we do here with this is we're going to take the Orb of Infinite Depth. This is going to give us huge damage reduction, 80%. So I put Gold Wrap on because it's just easy to get, but by all means, this could easily come off for literally anything else you want in the armor slot. Syndicate for resource would be a good shout. You know, Blood Braces, you could do yourself a shield if you wanted. But yeah, I've left it on because it's just so easy to find in the loot pool. Wand of Woe, we basically get Explosive Blast doing more Explosive Blasts, so we get more triggers, we get the multiplier on there, and then we go for Indoom because that will allow us to spit out Explosive Blast really fast and do a bunch of damage. We can also move a little bit faster on this spec because we've got the Calamity teleport on pretty much infinite cooldown. It's not, you know, it's on 11 seconds and it's 10 seconds, so it's not quite 100% uptime. It's not as good as Firebirds, but it is still pretty decent. We have swapped the cold rune out because obviously we want to do different cold damage, so we've gone for Frost Nova, Frozen Mist, and then other than that we've swapped on to Explosive Blast or not swapped on, we're keeping that the same moment. That's the only change in the skills, Frost Nova, Frozen Mist. Gear is exactly the same, we've got no difference. We're obviously just basically using the in-game. Yeah, and let's go and see. Now the one thing with this is you will have to numlock, or if you're on console, hold the trigger down, because you want Explosive Blast going off. But it's the same deal, you want your Force Armor, Storm Armor rather, going off. You get to your 4 stacks of Tals, and then that's it. Again, you only really need to left click for this one, because numlock is going off doing your constant Explosive Blast. You don't need to touch the cold skill again, unless you particularly want to. And basically for this one, you're just looking for an elite, and once you get an elite, you're going to be much quicker. So this will set off our in-game. There we go. And then that's it. We can now teleport around. And because the Explosive Blast got, you know, nice AoE damage, whenever we kind of stop, we do wreck something. So there are ways to improve the speed on this. We can work in Wreath of Lightning when we get a bit more damage. That's always kind of nice. A bit more move speed. Arm guards are something you can, you know, considering that cube slot that we say that is, you know, maybe doesn't need the gold drop. Because the thing is, with the Tal bonus for the damage reduction, with the Explosive Blast, you are pretty tanky. So you can probably get away without the gold wrap. But as I say, it's just, we're thinking early-ish season now. Obviously the gear we've got is nice. And obviously we would have been saved there by the follower, but we don't have that active at the moment. So yeah, if your Explosive Blast drops off, because it's at 4 stacks now, if it drops off, 80% damage reduction is a lot to lose. But yeah, again, you might not necessarily be doing T16 if you get these pieces and have like 0 paragon, but you will be pretty close, and you know, T15 probably at the very least. But yeah, this is a good fun build for keys for Wizard. Probably not the fastest, but it's probably my favourite. It's one of my favourite builds. I'm hoping we get to do some Explosive Blast with the Firebird set as well, once that does get reworked. But yeah, as you can see, T16, no main stack paragon. I think the armory has put the gems in for us, but as you can see, it's absolutely blasting it to pieces. So I don't think we need to worry. You know, even if we didn't have those things in, we'd be fine. And a nice shield pylon for the boss. So you know, we can't say fairer than that now, can we? And obviously we are picking everything up now because this is back on live. So you know, no leaving stuff. But yeah, pretty good. Tals is a really fun set. It's a good start set, and I guess there will be quite a few of you who are going to roll Wizard. But that is pretty much it. That is the build. As we say, the skills are exactly the same. Passives, I think we swapped onto Elemental Exposure because there's obviously no point taking Power Hungry because it's a close range build. Other than that, the rest of this is all the same. We just need to work in the Frost Nova, Frozen Mist, which, as I say, you'll need to activate it at the start. Set it, forget it, don't touch it. Easy peasy. Cool, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you out there in Sanctuary. Do come by the stream if you get a chance. Love to speak to people who come from the YouTube guides. And I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.